Powered by Riverside.
Hello and welcome into TheSadFan, where we talk about the good, the bad, and everything that made you sad. And there's not a lot of reasons to be sad because it is Super Bowl week, unless you are Doc Rivers. So we're obviously starting in the obvious place on Super Bowl week.
Well, I'll just tell you I am sad because I didn't want to see any of these teams in the Super Bowl. I was hoping for Lions-Ravens. This is the worst possible outcome, so I am a very sad person right now.
I love you so much.
I was trying to push the Super Bowl conversation a little bit so we get the show off the ground.
That's fine. That's fine. We can push it. I just want to let you know that I am sad.
As usual.
Because this is going to be a shit Super Bowl.
Wes cannot let the hosts get the show off the ground because he's the juggernaut, bitch. Comes running in to just say what he...
Well, we don't have the segment where I get to tell you what I'm sad about, so I'm telling you what I'm sad about.
I'm going to get this in no matter what you say. I'm going to tell you, I didn't want to watch these teams play. I wanted to see the Lions against the Ravens, and now I've got to watch these two teams play, and I'm colorblind, and they both wear red, and I'm very frustrated, and Taylor Swift's going to, Wes has a million things he's frustrated about. We're going to get to every single one of them.
You know what?
I promise.
I'm just going to watch the commercials.
All right, so some quick hits because we do have some Super Bowl coverage to get to as we do on a weekend like this. We will be breaking down the Super Bowl. But first, Wes did bring up a great point about another coach he has an issue with. Well, the only coach he has an issue with, because prior to the show, as usual, Wes was defending every coach he possibly could for no possible reason.
Every coach.
Except for one coach. And that was
Doc Rivers is trash. I called it. I was like, I don't know why they hired Doc Rivers. So the Bucs fired, I don't even remember his name, but they hired Doc Rivers. And now they've gone 2-5. They've gone 2-5 with Doc Rivers.
It was Andre, right? He was their coach.
Oh yeah. But I don't see it turning because their losses have been blowouts more or less. And I don't see it stopping. I think they're still going to make the playoffs, but they just went from an NBA Finals contender to probably a bottom seed. So good job, way to go, way to hire Doc Rivers, a proven failure. He won an NBA Final with Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen. Congratulations! That's the second best team ever assembled outside of LeBron, Dwayne, and Bosh.
You know, the Bucs are still third in their conference, right?
Yeah, because they had such a large lead over the third place, and they've already sunk down there. They're just going to keep dropping like flies.
Do we say dropping like flies or rocks? Sink like a rock?
Flies. I said flies. When you swat them. That's what team they're doing. They're swatting them. Even the Pistons. Pistons have won 2 in a row. They lost, 28 straight? Now they won 2 in a row. Good job, Pistons. You get 2 thumbs up for the week. Most improved team.
You only have one goal. You only have one goal for the Pistons, and that's please win less games than the Spurs, so Fry's not right. That's your only goal. That's your only goal. I said they're both equally bad.
Spurs still have 2 more wins. So, you know what? As long as they come off with more wins, I'm right. You're wrong, like always.
That's literally all you want to happen. It's just please don't let me be right again.
I mean, I was wanting to see the Spurs also set the all-time losing record for a season, but that's not going to happen.
You mean the Pistons?
Yeah, the Pistons.
Adrian Griffin, not Andre. Adrian Griffin was the Bucs head coach. So it was Adrian Griffin.
That's right. I mean, it sounds like he was toxic to the leader room, but if you're going to fire him in the middle of the season, have a better backup plan than Doc Rivers.
You can't. Doc Rivers isn't a terrible backup plan mid-season. I will say that. Mid-season, I could see where you go with Doc there. It's not a
okay. Maybe if you were a bad team, but if you're one of the top NBA Finals contenders, come on.
I think Doc Rivers, if
What are
I'm
you
not
doing?
mistaken, I think Doc Rivers has lost more Game 7s than any coach in NBA history.
Yeah.
I think I'm right
I think
about
so.
that.
Yeah, I think I read that too. So not surprised.
So Doc Rivers,
He
though,
chokes.
you mentioned it, he does have a championship. So he won a championship with the Celtics, but that triggered you because you said he should have won more championships, and he's saying that team.
Tons of people have championships that shouldn't have them.
Yeah, that's true. That's
But
true. Brad Johnson won one with the Buccaneers, and Brad Johnson was a terrible quarterback.
I mean, just pick out some of the garbage teams on Jordan's team.
I think Trent Dilfer. Trent Dilfer is a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Yeah. Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco wasn't bad though. That's not fair. He's not in that same class, so I'm not gonna go down that path with you. Joe Flacco was a good quarterback. You know, he just got old, and people forget. Like, we get old. Like,
I'm just gonna rip on him because he plays for Cleveland, and I hate everything Cleveland right now. So
until they get rid of Deshaun, Deshaun,
I don't care who you are.
Everybody can get these. Everybody can get these bones. Everybody.
Yeah.
Outside of that, the Lakers did honor Kobe Bryant. They unveiled the first statue, and
18 foot tall.
Yeah, unveiled by his wife Vanessa Bryant, which is pretty exciting. And then the Lakers proceeded to lose to the Nuggets. So,
if you ask me, I don't think the face looks all that like him.
So, could
have done better.
In fact, Wes, let's stop here. Give us some of your statue experience and your ability to rate statues.
I am very okay. In case you didn't know, I'm a statue sculptor. Okay, I make statues on the side. Yeah.
And what? So this is what gives you the ability to rate the face of the statue.
Exactly.
What
or maybe it's called looking at a picture side by side. This is Kobe Bryant's actual face before he passed. R.I.P. Mamba. And this is a picture of the statue's face. And you just look at him and you're like, eh. I mean, who knows? Maybe it was the lighting. I don't know. I haven't seen it in real life, but just from looking at photos,
what's this?
Could have been better.
For those who can't
this is one picture. I'm holding up my right hand, and this is supposed to be the picture of Mamba's face, and then I'm holding up my left hand, and this is supposed to be the photo of Mamba's statue.
So for those of us listening,
it's like I'm juggling balls here. Okay,
on podcast, on Spotify and Apple Music, Wes is just moving his hands around in a juggling motion, and I think he's pantomiming that he's staring at the photo of the statue at the same time.
I'm juggling balls, but instead of balls, it's Mamba's face.
And that's what makes him such a statue connoisseur, is his ability to stare at picture. He basically did forensic diagnosis that the statue.
Enhance. That's what I did.
All right. Can we enhance that? That's not actually real. What do you mean? I see it on TV all the time. All right, so we've got that knocked out. Let's get to the big game. The big game of who won the NFL awards. So Lamar Jackson takes home his second MVP, and I think he deserved it. He was fantastic this year. But I think I would have given it to
until when it mattered. But of course, the MVP is a regular season award.
I think I would have given it to Tyreek Hill, personally. I do. I do think he was the MVP of the year. I think Tyreek Hill, if he was healthy the whole season, which he wasn't, would have set the receiving record. So I would have given it to Tyreek Hill because we saw what the Dolphins also were without him, or without him even at 90%. But Lamar Jackson took it home. And
does Megatron still have the receiving record?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if it... I mean, eventually someone's going to break it, but I think it's going to be several years. I think that thing's going to hold for another decade.
I think it would have been this year if it wasn't for him getting hurt. And then Justin Jefferson always has a shot at it. I don't think Jamar Chase
Sounds like Justin Jefferson's not happy with where he's at.
Well, they don't have a quarterback anymore either. Because Kirk Cousins is a free agent. And I think the tough part is explaining to Justin Jefferson, hey, man, Kirk Cousins is like 35 years old, and he tore his Achilles tendon. He's not going to be the same when he comes back, you know?
No.
There's a reason why they're not looking to sign him. But Lamar Jackson, you said he never wins the big game. Are you one of those people? Are you trying to yell out rings at Lamar Jackson?
I mean, he had a stacked team this year, and they couldn't get it done. And he had some really bad mistakes in that game.
I think the offensive coordinator just called a terrible game, to be honest. I do think he was trying to make too much happen. I will agree with you there, Wes. I think
what year was it when they lost to the Titans in the divisional playoff? They were like the 1 seed.
Yeah, 2 years ago, I believe. He won the MVP 2 years ago, and they lost to the Titans.
Yeah, that was, again, they had no business losing that game, and they did.
Yeah, and that's because the Titans drug that game into the mud. And that's exactly what the Chiefs did, right? And Lamar Jackson just spent too much time trying to show he's better than Patrick Mahomes or on Patrick Mahomes' level instead of winning the game. I mean,
here, let me tell you a little secret, Lamar Jackson. You are not a better passer than Mahomes. You may be a better athlete, but you are not a better passer. Don't try to get into like a passing dick swinging contest with Patrick because you're going to lose.
So he did make one of the best plays we've seen ever, though, in that game. And I'm going to give him credit for that.
The catch?
Yes, that was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. And that should have
gone for a touchdown. If he was half a step faster, that would have been gone.
Yeah. Thanks for filling while I was drinking.
If it was Bo Nix.
While I was taking a drink.
If it was Bo Nix.
Stop. Why did you say what you were about to say about Bo Nix while I was taking a big drink of water so we didn't have that long silence on the box?
Why did you hear you drinking? I wanted everyone to hear you drinking.
So anyway, make your
if it was Bo Nix, he would have scored. If it was Bo Nix, he would have scored. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, Bo Nix, have you been watching what he's been doing at the Senior Bowl?
No. I don't watch the Senior Bowl.
He has been awful. He's been
he hasn't.
Bad. And people were commenting on some of his throws. They're like, well, it looks like Auburn Bo Nix is back.
I don't believe you.
Okay, fair enough.
You're just a Bo Nix hater. Shocker.
You're just mad that Bo Nix is not going to be in the NFL.
I haven't been watching the Senior Bowl because guess what? Senior Bowl doesn't mean shit.
This is the same man that argued with me when we were young that Jeremiah Masoli was a great quarterback. And I told him, Jeremiah Masoli is a terrible quarterback and he's never going to be good in the NFL. You're like, Jeremiah Masoli is good. You're just an Oregon hater. And then sure enough, how did Jeremiah Masoli do in the NFL, Wes? How did that go?
This conversation never happened. You're just making stuff up now.
No, you were just, cool. 21 years old, and you choose to forget it because you don't have to admit that one of the quarterbacks you really liked wasn't good in the NFL. I
never said he was good. He got replaced for Darren Thomas.
You were a huge Dennis Dixon fan too. Like you were all about Dennis Dixon.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a shame he got injured that year.
I think he got injured again too, right? The next year, didn't he get injured again the following year?
Well, that was his senior year when he got injured.
Okay, so yeah.
But I think he got injured in the NFL probably. But, I mean, he was also Ben Roethlisberger's backup forever.
That is true. He was Ben Roethlisberger's backup forever. There's only one player from Oregon that I was ever sad didn't make it in the NFL. Do you know who it is? LaMichael James.
No idea.
LaMichael James.
Yeah.
That was the only one that I was sad. I loved watching LaMichael James.
That
play.
Dude was electric. Yeah.
So
he was who was from Philly?
You're talking about Darren Sproles?
Yeah. You remind me a lot like him. And I don't know. Maybe the 49ers just didn't use him right, but yeah, kind of bummed that he never got his stride. You know an Oregon running back who did get their stride though?
Who's that?
LeGarrette Blount.
Anyway, that has nothing to do with today's show, and I was trying to lead West somewhere else, but he's the juggernaut. There was going to be something that this is what Wes wanted to talk about, and that is there was another player from that Oregon team that wasn't a player. He was more of a coach that got interviewed by Seattle this week, and Wes wanted to discuss that today on today's show. So, Wes, how do you feel about that?
So your current head coach, the UCLA's head coach, my former head coach, Oregon's former head coach, Chip Kelly, is interviewing for the offensive coordinator position with the Seattle Seahawks. And I'll tell you why. It's because he frickin' hates college. He hates recruiting. He hates slob-knobbing with donors. And I think he's just tired of it at this point. He knows that he's probably going to get fired because he can't recruit because he hates it. Yeah.
Hobnobbing.
Yes, I said it. So he knows that he's probably going to get canned next year. So I think he's just trying to get a jump start on it and go to the NFL where he wants to be. And I think he's proven that he can't be a good head coach at the NFL level. So
yeah,
I think maybe he'll just, I don't know. We'll see how he does as an OC.
How would you feel?
It's a new era in Seahawks football.
Good answer.
I shrugged, but it's a new era in Seahawks football. I'll try it. We got Mike McDonald as head coach. So screw it. Let's roll the dice.
That's your guy.
I'm pretty indifferent.
All right. So you know what people aren't super indifferent about is, will Taylor Swift make it to the Super Bowl from Japan?
No one cares about Taylor Swift making it from her Japan tour. Congratulations.
There's a lot of people doing math on this, Wes, and trying to figure out exactly how she can make it.
Oh, wow. She can take a flight, a red eye, as soon as her type flight's over. Guess what? Kirk Herbstreit does that all the time. Oh, yeah. You're so cool taking a flight to the Super Bowl. Good for you. Anyways, moving on away from that dumpster fire.
Wes, you know it's not just Swifties doing the math here to see if Taylor can make it to the Super Bowl in Las Vegas. It's also Fox News. And it's pretty hilarious to watch Fox News not know what to do, like, at this point with anything, because they're calling Travis Kelce less of a man because he's dating Taylor Swift, like somebody that is a gladiator and gladiator sports and, you know, definitely what we would consider an alpha throughout history, dating a pop star, a country music star. That he's less of a man because of this, which like literally juxtaposes everything they always say. And I think they're very confused. And it's funny because now they're attacking Taylor Swift because if she does fly to Las Vegas, she has to do it on a private jet. And they're calling her an extreme lib. Oh, but you're going to take a private plane and ruin the environment you care so much about. Have you not been watching this coverage? It is fantastic. I cannot believe you haven't been seeing this. Like,
so, well, you're talking about two things that I purposely avoid: Fox News and Taylor Swift. So why in the ever-living F would I watch that coverage? I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
It's funny. If you get the clips, though, if you get the Instagram clips or the
I don't even want to watch the clips.
They're so funny.
I don't want to watch the clips.
Why are you so mad about Taylor Swift? What is happening?
It's dumb. This whole conversation is dumb. This could have all been avoided if Lamar Jackson had done his frickin' job and beat the Chiefs, and then we wouldn't have to do this stupid math about whether Taylor Swift is going to show up to the Super Bowl.
But you could probably do the math yourself, Wes.
Yeah, she can get it. Guess what? Planes are pretty fast.
I wish I could. I'm going to cut it right there. Yeah, she can get it. That's where I'm going to cut it right there. I'm not going to stop.
She can get there. She can get there.
That was fantastic. All right. So,
she can get it.
That was so funny.
Okay, Taylor Swift can get there because, in case you don't know, planes can travel pretty fast.
How fast can a passenger plane travel, Wes?
I don't know. How about you Google it? I'm not going to tell you.
You do know. You know exactly how fast a passenger
plane can
travel. Yeah, I know.
And guess what?
You work on them.
I'm not going to tell you.
You're only not.
You figure it out. You do the math. You do the math.
Swifties. You're taking a Swiftie stand right now.
80 miles per hour.
Oh, is that it? Is that it?
80.
All right, so we've got a matchup of Patrick Mahomes, Brock Purdy, the Chiefs defense versus the 49ers defense. We have got two coaches that are offensive geniuses. We've got Kelsey versus Kittle. Who takes this game, Wes? Who's going to win this game?
I don't know. Maybe the Chiefs?
Wes,
I think it's probably going to be the Chiefs.
We offer content here. Give content. You can't I don't know.
I'm giving you content. Maybe if you'll let me talk.
Okay, go.
I'm going to go with Patrick because Brock Purdy is a good quarterback? ? But Patrick always turns it up for the playoffs, and I think that's going to be the difference right there. And you know what? I hope so, because I freaking hate the Niners and I don't want to see them ever win a Super Bowl in my lifetime. And the Chiefs have already won a Super Bowl, so whatever. I don't care. Win 10 more, whatever. Screw you guys.
I do agree with you that obviously the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes, and he is going to be the highlight of this Super Bowl when it comes to the quarterback position. Like, Brock Purdy is not what we're here to watch. But I do think Brock Purdy has more to prove than Patrick Mahomes does. Right?
Well, yeah. I mean, everyone doubts him. And to be fair, he's made some really crappy decisions in the last 2 games against the Packers and against the Lions that he's just lucky didn't backfire. I mean, that helmet bounce off that resulted in a touchdown, that should have been a pick. There was like 2 picks. Yeah, there was 2 passes in their first game against the Packers that apparently Packers DBs don't know how to catch. Apparently they don't do catching drills at all in practice. Because I could have caught those. And I'm Butterfingers.
Apparently they don't do catching drills in practice.
Yeah.
All right. But I think it's also because ever since he got put into the MVP conversation, it seems like people have wanted to tear him down.
Who is putting Brock Purdy into the MVP conversation?
Everybody was, because he was the quarterback on a team that was winning quite a bit, and that's going to happen in every NFL season. If a quarterback is on a winning team, he's going to be looked at as a possible MVP candidate, Wes.
No, not that guy.
Why?
That team is Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey won Offensive Player of the Year for a reason. That dude is dynamite.
Yeah.
And they're stacked on receiver. They're stacked on defense.
Is that why you're going to pick against them?
I'm picking against them because I already told you Patrick Mahomes is better than Brock Purdy by a country mile.
That's your sole analysis, Patrick Mahomes? I hear what you're saying, but honestly, you know what the audience in the world
I mean, what's the most important position on the football field?
Yeah, but you're just going to say Patrick Mahomes, like, every time?
Quarterback.
I'm like, hey, Wes, why do you pick the Chiefs? Patrick Mahomes. Wes, what do you want for dinner? Patrick Mahomes. What is happening there? Is there any other thing that you could offer, or is it just that Patrick Mahomes is playing? Because you gave me a lot on the 49ers.
Brock Purdy throws 2 interceptions. Is that what you want to hear?
Okay. You're predicting that he's going to throw 2 interceptions?
Yep.
I think Brock Purdy, I mean, like, did you know he had scrambles like that? Like he did against the Lions?
I think at that point they kind of threw him off in the first half, so they stopped spying and caught him off guard. But I don't think that's going to happen with the Chiefs.
I mean, they've had a great defense all year long in Kansas City, but so has San Francisco. And I told you guys...
It must be nice having a defensive coordinator in Steve Spagnuolo who has no desire to be a head coach anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just like permanent defensive coordinator, and he kills at it.
I mean, yes, the Chiefs defense, I think, helped them get to the Super Bowl. I think that the Chiefs offense is slowly rounding into form, but I also think they have one good receiver, and he's a rookie. Martez Valdez-Scantling is just all of a sudden coming on in the playoffs, right? Like, he's had a great playoffs, but outside of that, it's been a rough year for Martez Valdez-Scantling, goodness gracious. And Travis Kelce even had a case of the dropsies this year, didn't he?
Well, I'll tell you who's going to be the MVP.
Who?
Kadarius Toney. That was a joke.
That dude is a clown, man. That dude is such a clown.
I don't even know if he's going to play. Is he? He didn't play in the...
I don't know if he's going to play in the NFL anymore. I don't think he's going to play. Like,
he'll get a chance on another team.
I mean, but we thought that about old boy that was on the Browns, and now I can't even remember his name. And he was really good out of Florida. And I can't remember his name. But it was when Todd Haley was the coordinator. Callaway.
Oh, Callaway.
Yeah, for the Browns. And I thought he was going to be really good. He had a couple really good games. He was so fast. And then, like, he had a case of the dropsies. He had an attitude in the locker room. All of a sudden, never heard from again. Sound familiar? Sound familiar?
Does Kadarius Toney have an attitude, though? I thought he just sucks.
You didn't see during the Chiefs game, he went Instagram Live. and talked about how he's not actually injured, how he doesn't know about all these lies that the Chiefs are selling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
and then he released an article going off on the Chiefs before the Super Bowl this week, talking about how he's a number one receiver and he's not treated as one, and how it's not his fault. And I'm like, Kadarius, I watched the games this year. It's pretty obviously your fault. You run the wrong route. You drop the ball. Like, it's pretty obviously on you. You cannot blame people for those things. These are things you control. Running the correct route, catching the ball. You can't blame people for that.
It's kind of funny because I just looked up Kadarius Toney, and someone put in $25 to win $20,000 Super Bowl bet on Kadarius Toney to win the MVP.
I'll take a flyer on that.
Right?
Throw one up. So
why not?
With that being said, I'm going to tell you right now, I said the 49ers were the best team in the NFL at the beginning of the year, and I stand by that. I do think the 49ers are the best team in the NFL, and I do think the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl. I don't want them to. I don't want the Chiefs to either, but I don't have a choice here like Wes. Like, I don't hate the Chiefs. I hate the Broncos. If you follow our show, I hate the Broncos. I hate them. But Chiefs, whatever. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say Patrick Mahomes isn't a generational talent. You know, he absolutely is. And he's fun to watch. And I'm not going to, just because I'm the fan of the other team, I'm not going to down that guy. He's great. Like, just be an adult.
His wife and brother are not fun to watch. Yeah.
But I don't know why you lumped his wife in there. His wife is fine. Don't throw Brittany in there.
Like, his dad also.
What is your issue with the ladies of the Chiefs? Okay?
Also his dad. I'm also talking about the men of the Chiefs. Okay. His dad just was it a DUI that he just got?
Yeah, he got his third DUI, yes.
Come on, Patrick. Rein your dad in.
How do you react like that?
Rein your dad in.
I'll attack it from a different angle than Wes so we don't get canceled. All right? So
who's going to cancel us?
So with this, doesn't this stuff that goes on with Patrick Mahomes' family make him that much better of a quarterback, though? Like, all these outside pressures and all these outside things that are going on, and he still goes out there and balls out every single week with, like...
That's because he doesn't care about them.
Wasn't Jack... No, they're always at his house. Did you watch the quarterback series on Netflix?
No.
Why would I do that? It was good, dude. It was a good series. But they're always at his house. Like, they're always there. And...
because they're moochers. They want that moolah.
Wes, his dad was a professional baseball player. What are you doing? Stop it. All right.
No.
But maybe Jackson Mahomes wants that shine. He wants a little bit of that, like, shine. Get, like, a little bit on his shoulders from Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, Jackson Mahomes is obviously jealous. He's living vicariously through his brother. Because that 100%. Dude's never going to amount to anything in life.
Trying to be, like, TikTok famous, right? Doing, like, TikTok dances on the sidelines and stuff like that during games.
Yeah. He's like annoying little Robin to Patrick Mahomes' Batman.
He's not Robin. He's the butler, and he's not Alfred.
He wants to be Robin.
He wants to be Robin. There you go. He wants to have something. I think when the 49ers added Chase Young and bolstered that defense, they did something that the Chiefs aren't going to be able to stop, because I don't see the Chiefs having a great offensive line. So I think when they added that element to their defense, they did something that was pretty phenomenal. And that is build up what they already has as a strength even stronger to take on a Chiefs weakness. And I think that that's going to be a big thing, because that's how the Buccaneers really took it to the Chiefs when Tampa Bay beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
So here's the thing. 49ers couldn't stop Lamar. They're not going to be able to stop Mahomes.
What's the score, Wes?
31-17. Chiefs.
31-17. I hope it's that high scoring. I just don't think it will be. I'm going to go here. 24-13, 49ers.
You're wrong. Sorry, bro.
That's fair. All right. Thank you so much for joining us each and every week here at TheSadFan. Remember, you can catch us on all of your podcast platforms: Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Google. But you can also find us on YouTube at TheSadFan Podcast Network. So please follow us at TheSadFancast and TheSadFan12 on Twitter. Wes, go ahead.
If only there was a good team like the Seahawks playing in the Super Bowl. It'd be so much better.
If only the Seahawks were good, they would have made the Super Bowl. Thanks so much, everyone.